You know, I think poverty always relates to people not being able to access certain opportunities that are out there in life.
When you are poor and you don't know where your food is going to be coming from, and you don't know whether or not you're going to eat, you get desperate. You start making choices and doing things that you never normally would do.
If you're on the streets and you're living on the streets, it's really hard to find a job to get off the streets.
You see a lot of people that are called rounders, to be honest, that they've started coming into the shelter system or our detox and treatment system as youths and have honestly been cycling back around and around again, some of them for as many as 20 years more.
So you don't have anywhere to get your mail sent to you, you're hungry so you're not able to focus.
Jobs that do not pay living wages, the fact that we have jobs that are part-time, no benefits, the fact that people are unemployed, there's not enough job opportunities, are all structural factors that cause people to be poor, because in this society that we live in now, which is caste-based, if you don't earn money in one form or the other, you are poor, because you cannot go and buy food, you cannot buy shelter, etc., etc.
Families that are stuck in poverty, that's another thing. If youth have known nothing but poverty their whole life, they might not have the life skills it takes, and they were never taught them to sort of function as a healthy, independent adult.
I spoke with someone this past week, who is now in her mid-20s. If you listen to her story, when she was at the age of 3, her family members started to sexually abuse her. So, and it just continued, and she's just totally messed up.
So those people that might be out there lifting those pants out of that store isn't just because they're a bad person that just want to wear the coolest pants, but it could be because they had to use the money to pay for food and they actually don't have a pair of pants.
Some of them get back on their feet again, some of them just keep coming back.
It begins with a young person feeling that they're deserving of a good life, and from there what you hope is that they reach out to those services that are available to them, for them to be able to start the slow steps to whatever it is they want in their life, because they are entitled to it.
So how do we break the cycle? Because we saw as social work students going out into communities, how the cycle just continues. So that is a very good question, but there are examples where people have broken the cycle. I think if we can, through our schooling system, our educational system, through community organizations, through social service agencies, through peer support, I think there are ways that the cycle can be broken, and there are examples where the cycle has been broken, but it's easier said than done, because as you and I have been, a central term within sociology is that of socialization, that we become socialized into a certain way of living. So you grow up, you learn certain things from your parents or from your school buddies and from the education system. That becomes the norm. If you are born into a family where the norms are different, where the outlook on life is different, you socialize that. For that, to you that becomes the norm, and that may not necessarily be in line with the expectations of society. So then that cycle continues.
Salvation Army serves over 4,000 meals a week, just here, just Harbour Light. That's just this location.
In the last couple of years went from 22 shelter beds up to 54, and those are almost always full. And we have a lot of youth now that have a really big problem with mental health as well as addictions, and so a lot of dual diagnosis, so having both mental health concerns as well as drug and alcohol concerns.
The kind of services that the Broadway Youth Resource Centre provides is really on a continuum of need. So everything from school on site, health clinic that is here 2 days a week. We have the Leave Out Violence program, media arts program that's here on site. The resource room, which is of course the heart of the center, and by that what I mean is any young person that walks through the door that needs access to computers, to food, because of course being hungry is a major issue for our young people.
Covenant House Vancouver is a nonprofit organization that works with youth 16 to 24 that are homeless or at risk. many who have been in abusive situations and have nowhere else to turn to.
In this area, we also get every walk of life, youth to elderly to drug addicts to mental health to people who just had some really bad luck.
The youth that are using our services often have nowhere else to go. They've been abused, they don't have family supports, or they may have been coming out of the foster care system, and so as they're transitioning into adulthood, they're not quite there yet.
Foster care system certainly is a system that needs some improvement, because a lot of youth that are in the foster care system end up with big challenges in life. So I think that's a barrier. If we can revamp the foster care system, I think that will go a great distance in helping with youth poverty.
It needs to start from inside.
And to realize that that I am a being worth of love and worth of being respected and treated well.
A young person needs to feel empowered. They need to feel empowered by feeling that their voice is important, by what they have to say is important, and that their life is important.
Greater appreciation of themselves, and realize that what has happened to me is not because I'm bad and I'm so bad.
When they begin to truly understand that they deserve to have a good life like anybody else on this planet, that's where it begins.